I'm Allison with FlickDirect, and I'm here with Brian Yuzna to talk about his films here at Popcorn Frights. Hello, sir. How are you?
Very good. How about you?
I'm good. And your movie's Society is going to be playing tonight.
Yes.
Let's talk a little bit about Society. I have to quote this. One of the ickiest, sweatiest, gloopiest, horniest, and most original body horror shockers of all time.
Thank you. Actually, one of the things that makes me proudest is that Empire magazine in England, it's the huge entertainment magazine, had a list of the top 50 grossest scenes in movie history. And we got number one.
All right.
Number one.
Can you say which scene that was?
It's the shunting.
Ah. What made you want to make the movie?
It was I had produced a couple movies out in LA, and I kind of wanted to try directing.
Okay.
And so I had a deal to direct a couple movies, and I had to find a movie to make. And someone had the writers just handed me the script. And I read it, and it was pretty paranoid. I loved it.
Okay.
And so I added a bunch of special effects scenes to it and gave it a shot.
It's an understatement, a couple of special effects scenes. But this was made so long ago that if you were able to redo it again now or have the tools that they have now with special effects, would you change anything in it?
I would try to direct a little better. You know, I think maybe I could improve it a little bit in that sense, in the storytelling and directing actor sense. As far as the effects goes, I wouldn't change all, it's all practical. But yes, I would augment with some digital, some things. There's a few effects in it that are clunky. People like it because it's the 80s, you know, but they didn't work then. We were trying to do a lot for a little. I mean, everybody says that. But no, I would try to improve a couple key effects.
All right.
Yes.
But would it be the same film then? Because I think part of the appeal of this film is some of the cheesiness that you get with those effects.
I hate to think that, but you're probably right.
Yeah, kind of.
You know, we never we never like to think that. We'd like to think that we're not cheesy. The great thing if you make a horror movie is that it doesn't have to be real good, and yet there's all these festivals that will still appreciate it. And, you know, it's the gift that keeps on giving.
It is. And there are fans that love them and show them to younger generations of fans, and they just keep on going.
I am one of those fans. So my first movie was a horror movie. I grew up as a horror fan. I got infected at about the age of 5 years old with a movie that, of course, now would be pretty silly, but it was called the Creature with the Atom Brain, and it scared me, and it infected me. And I think a lot of horror movie fans, I mean, I'm not talking about adolescents. I'm not talking about teenagers. Of course, adolescents love horror. All adolescents love horror. Horror is about sex and death. They like that. As you get older, you worry more about the mortgage and career advancement. But there are some people who, even as they get older and into middle age, still like horror movies, or as we call them now to be more polite, genre movies.
Yes.
And I think those people, like me, are people who somehow at one early time in their life really got freaked out by a horror movie. And it became, you know, the first one makes you sick, and then you're chasing the dragon the rest of your life, you know. So there is a kind of an addictive analogy there.
Okay. Can I just tell you that the thing that freaked me out as a 5-year-old, the flying monkeys in the Wizard of Oz.
Well, and actually, they were very
They
scary.
were.
And I saw The Wizard of Oz in the 50s on its re-release
Ooh,
when I was a kid at the movie theater. And that the witch,
yeah.
when she was on top of the roof with
Yeah.
the green light.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And I
Yeah.
love that movie.
Yeah. It's classic.
And I
It's
read
one.
all the books, actually.
Did you?
Yeah, yeah, because, you know, we didn't have TV when I grew up in Latin America, in the third world,
Okay.
in the 50s.
Okay.
And so we actually didn't have TV until I was about 6 or 7, and then it was
Okay.
for 2 hours a day.
Uh-huh.
So we didn't have that part of it, but we read books. So you got books from the library. I was a big reader. Of course,
Okay.
I read fairy tales
Yeah.
and fantasy. And The Wizard of Oz, I think I read 6 or 8 of them. And they were pretty crazy.
Is there anything you read in a book that you put into one of your horror movies?
I'm sure there is. I can't think of
Okay.
something right now. I think most of the stuff I put into movies are things that I saw in movies. So I can definitely, I have spent time once I didn't start making movies till I was in my 30s. Okay, I didn't go to film school. When I was 36, I went to Hollywood and made a movie.
All right.
But I did try to understand where these things came from because we don't really do anything new. We kind of mix things differently. Yeah. And but I think most of the direct influences come from movies.